Good morning. This is Mitch Tarr, founder and president of ZinMarketing.com. And today we're going to talk about something really practical. At some point, somewhere along the line, you will send out an email to 48,000 people and it will have a mistake in it. So let's explore some different ways on how to deal with that and when this is a really big issue and when it's not such a big issue after all. So let's just take a look at the type of mistakes that you can happen. You might have a typo in it. You might have a grammatical error. You might have something like a busted layout that all of a sudden it doesn't show up properly in mobile, or something more serious like a broken link where you ask people to follow a call to action and it gets to the wrong place. Now, we're not going to talk about mistakes where you send out an offer that you've changed your mind on, or it was supposed to be a 5% offer and it shows up as 50%. That is going to take a little bit more effort. But for these simple types of mistakes, the typos, the grammatical errors, the busted links, for the first three, basically just ignore them and move on. There's not really any way to recover from something like that that doesn't highlight it and focus on it even more. So if you're worried on reputation because you have a typographical error in your email, all you'll be doing is highlighting that by telling everybody, oh, we made a mistake, there's a typographical error. But for a broken link, that's kind of debilitating, because if you're trying to sell something and you want people to go through to your e-commerce site, they can't get there. And because they can't get there, then there is no way for you to sell anything. So that's kind of a catastrophic error, and that one has to be recovered. So here's some ideas of simple ways to do this that have been done in the past, are proven to work, and you don't have to do the same thing every time. Here's what you do. Basically, resend the message out and acknowledge in some way that you've made a mistake. It can be something really simple like a subject line change, or it can be something more serious, like you change the subject line and put in just a little short note at the beginning that says, I sent this out yesterday and there was a mistake, or I sent this out earlier this morning and there was a mistake. We fixed it and we've moved on. Really what happens is people acknowledge in their mind that you're human and mistakes happen and you've corrected the mistake. And here's some different subject lines that have proven to work pretty well in terms of a follow-up mistake. In the subject line, change it from whatever it was just to the word oops, or just to the sentence my mistake or our mistake. What happens with those is people's curiosity they just can't help it. They have to see what the mistake was. So it's kind of like a train wreck. You want to see the train wreck, but you don't want to see the train wreck at the same time. So these types of subject line changes will actually get you a higher open rate and sometimes even an entirely better result than the initial email would have if you would have sent it out correctly. Sometimes in the subject line you can put the word correction in it, put it in uppercase so that it really stands out. Sometimes you can omit, we're so embarrassed. Those style of subject lines where you've acknowledged a mistake just really work. They kind of play into people's human nature. Finally, I've got an example of one where they put in the subject line, resend link fixed, which is that copy number 6. This is what it looks like. So you might not be able to see it very well, but the subject line there says, resend link fixed, and it's in uppercase and brackets, and the former subject line is the same. It says, are you way too smart for your own good too? And essentially what it tells you is that the previous email that you got had a problem with the link. So if you had seen that message and you tried to click through but couldn't, this will get your attention because you now know that you can click through. If you didn't get that message, you might look at this one and with a different eye, knowing that it's been fixed and knowing that it's clickable, so that everything's going to be okay. I personally, with my experience, we've had better success in corrections using one of the subject lines which acknowledges the mistake. So my mistake, our mistake, we're so embarrassed, oops. Those types of subject lines tend to work really well for recovery. You want to send that message out as quickly as possible after you've discovered the mistake. So if you can do it within the hour, within a couple hours, within a half a day, same day, all of that works well. It still works if you send it the next day as well. So just kind of be aware that there's different calibers of mistakes. The simple ones are, not the end of the world. It's not going to destroy your entire brand. And if you make one mistake in a 12-month period, people will just really understand that you're human. It does take some creativity to fix a link problem. Don't just do something formal. Be human about it. Acknowledge your humanness. And something that you may have discovered is that this works, and because it works, you may be tempted to use it as an actual strategy. Don't fake this. Don't send out a my mistake email message if you haven't actually made the mistake. Don't intentionally make a mistake, so you can send the correction letter after it. Just use this as a legitimate way to correct an error that might have happened or might have gotten through your QA process. Hopefully that has helped you. We've got checklists that we use every day when we're running email campaigns for clients, and the checklist can get quite substantial, and we usually have two different people look at an email before it goes out to make sure we don't send out messages with any mistakes in. And if you want to learn how to do email marketing yourself, go to nospamemailmarketing.com. Hope you're having a great day and it carries on to be even better. We will talk to you next time.